Well, corporate America's doing it again, laying off people in order to increase profits and drive stock price up. And those people actually had lives and salaries. They're treating people like units of production, like crap, again. So video game executives should be shamed off the streets, booed loudly, this article says, at every opportunity. It comes after 1,900 members of the Activision, Blizzard, Xbox, and ZeniMax staff were laid off yesterday, months after Microsoft's $57 billion acquisition was approved. Riot Games laid off 500 members of staff, canceled development on all League of Legends spinoff titles, and Xbox Phil Spencer is paid an annual salary of $10 million, while former Activision CEO Bobby Kotick earned an average of $77,000 an hour, but they lay these people off so they can make more. So this is how corporate America pees on their people. You just get pissed on when you work for people like this. They just dump you in the street. And it's not, corporate America is not every corporation. It's a mindset. It's a bad spirit that treats customers like units of revenue and employees like units of production. If you've flown on a commercial airline, too many times you're treated like cattle. Trying to get on the dadgum plane, man. And, you know, you're just, how many people can we shovel in here? How far can we inconvenience them and piss them off and they still stay customers? I swear to God, I think Delta, when you look it up in the Greek, means we're really not going. I mean, it's just awful. Airline service is an oxymoron. That's an example of what I'm talking about. And so this is a corporate America mentality. Not all big companies, though, are bad. Big does not mean bad. That's not what I'm talking about. You can be corporate America and mistreat your people if you're small, but you're much more likely, if you're a small business, to treat your customers with sincerity and care because they're precious, and treat your team members like family because they're precious. And the interesting thing, because this is gaming, the Nintendo CEO, he passed away. The original Nintendo CEO was Satoru Iwata. I probably brutalized that name, I'm sorry, but I was close. He was the president of Nintendo from 2002 until his death in 2015, and he oversaw both the Nintendo DS and the Wii. However, he was also the CEO during the turbulent Wii era, which was considered a flop by many. Following the failure, he took a 50% pay cut, and the other executives reduced their salary by 20%. Speaking about the decision, he said, "If we reduce the number of employees for better short-term financial results, employee morale will decrease. I sincerely doubt employees who fear that they may be laid off will be able to develop software titles that could impress people around the world. At Nintendo, employees make valuable contributions in their respective fields, so I believe that laying off a group of employees will not help strengthen Nintendo's business in the long run." There you have it right there, the long run. So what's the long run? The long run is your people are your most precious asset. They cause everything to happen inside the building. Now, individuals can't misbehave because of that. That's not the point. But overall, the human resource is the most expensive thing in business. And overall, the humans are humans. And treating them with dignity and protecting them in down times is the right thing to do. That's called leadership. Laying off a batch of people just to increase profits artificially, temporarily, and it is temporary because if you get rid of all your talent, you know what happens 4 years later? You're producing boxes of crap because all your talent left the building, but boy, you helped stock price for 2 quarters. This is called short-sighted. It's not long-term, long run, like the original CEO at Nintendo, Iwata. And so it's, having a mentality that you hold your talent. Listen, if you hired them because they were good, keep them because they're good. Fight for them. and he took a 50% pay cut. So that's what real leadership looks like. And by the way, that's what most small business people do. The number of small business people that have 10 team members, and sometimes the owner takes no money that month because he had to make payroll, that's a normal transaction in small business. We see it every day. Now, I don't want you to do that. I want you to perform financially so everybody's making money. I want the owner to make more money than the employees. But if given a choice, rather than lay them off and then have to go try to find good people, because if every time you hit hard times you lay people off, guess what? Nobody wants to work for you because you're not a real leader. If every time you want to increase your profits, you lay people off to artificially increase your profits by lowering your payroll numbers, nobody wants to work for you because you're not a real leader. And that's what Iwata was saying. Employees make valuable contributions in their respective fields, he said. So I believe laying off a group of employees will not help to strengthen Nintendo's business in the long run. It will hurt morale. Well, yeah, of course it'll hurt morale. Other people are looking around going, they treat people like crap here. And so, you know what I'm going to do? As little as possible, because I'm going to be the next batch that they increase their profits with while they send me home and my kid hasn't got electricity and food. Because you want to jack your profits up on the back of my payroll. If they weren't making you more than they cost you, you shouldn't have had them in the first place. If businesses are not profitable and they're forced to lay someone off, that's different. If you're losing money, you can't make payroll, you ain't got a choice. But if you're crushing it, and a way to crush it a little bit more this month is to have less payroll, and then 5 months later you got to turn around and do a rehire because you sent all these people home, which is what these companies do. That's not leadership. That's pissing on people. And you deserve all the hell that comes into your life if you're doing that stuff. You deserve every bit of it. It's that simple. So like, for instance, during the Fauci pandemic, so we had entire business units here at Ramsey. We do about $300 million a year. I mean, I had one business unit that does $27 million a year, completely lost 100% of its revenue instantly, called live events. We don't do any live events during COVID, right? You're not allowed to do anything. Everybody's got to stay at home and suck their thumbs. So that's what we did. And so that live event team, you know how many of them I laid off during that time? 0. We told our team, here's what's going to happen. We have cash reserves. We have no debt. When the business goes into the red, meaning it's not profitable anymore because of these evaporations of revenue, the first thing that we will do is we will start using that pile of cash. When that pile of cash gets dangerously low, the next thing we will do is leadership will take no pay. The Ramsey family, the senior leaders, the operating board, the top leaders will take no pay. We're all okay. We can operate with no pay for a while. So we're going to take no pay so that no one loses their job. If that mathematically does not get us back into the black and we're still burning cash, we're going to be forced to put some of you guys on a furlough, but we're not going to send you home unless you want to go, unless you want to quit. But we're going to not be able to pay you mathematically because we've used up our cash and none of us are getting paid if it gets that bad. Now, and we told our team that's what's going to happen. And we will update you once a week, once a month through this crisis as to where we stand so you will know where you stand at all times. And so end of the second week of the shutdown, we told our team we have not burned any of the cash. We're still profitable. The end of the fourth week, we're still profitable. We've not burned any of the cash. So we got to burn through the cash and we got to burn through all the executive team pay before you're going to get touched. Reminder, that's how it's going to work. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay. If we start burning it, we'll tell you. If the thing goes into the red, we're going to tell you if the lines cross. Never once did the lines cross. We stayed profitable the whole time. We lost a lot of profit. We made a lot less money than we thought we were going to make for about 120 days there. But then things started coming back, and as you know, they came back with a vengeance because people came out of their houses like Baptists looking for a casserole and started buying stuff left and right. And so the business just took off again, right? And so that's where we landed. And we ended up making, by the end of the year, more money in 20 than we thought we were going to make before the whole stupid thing started. But it's because we were scratching and clawing and trying to protect our team and not put them on the street at the first sign of trouble or, for God's sakes, for our own personal greed to make more. That's leadership. And you know what I got for that? From most of our team, I got incredible loyalty because we gave them incredible loyalty. Now, some of them are just, you got 1,100 people, you're going to have a percentage of them are twerps. And so some of them were twerps and hit the road anyway and, did whatever they're going to do. That's fine. But even some of those that left said, you took care of us, thank you. And they left for other reasons. That's fine too, okay? But leadership does not beat up and take advantage of the people doing the work in order to increase profits. That's not leadership. That's corporate greed, and that's BS. And you should stop it, and you should be ashamed of yourself if you're doing it. And none of you are doing it because most of you are small business people that are listening to this, and it's not your gig to go that way. So, end of rant. But that's real leadership, boys and girls. You love your people. You care for them. Our HR manual is treat other people like you want to be treated. Jesus' golden rule. Do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. Lay you off at the first sign of trouble? No. Lay you off so I can make more profit? No. I wouldn't want somebody to do me that way. I'm not going to do you that way. Treat other people like you want to be treated. It's a real hard idea. It's called business ethics.